What is up, guys? Welcome to the second episode of what I'm calling Game Raider Podcast, just because Tomb Raider's coming out soon, because we still don't have a name for it. Today we're bringing back Ohio or Doug. Say hello, Doug.
Hello. Hello.
Uh, and then we brought on someone new, someone I'm pretty close to. We want the ring or Corey.
You just introduced me as we watched The Ring.
Yeah,
Nice.
because it's we have to kind of go by usernames. Well, we went by usernames in the first one because we're all in Football's Future.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because I use my real name now. If I sign up for
Yeah.
new stuff, it's all like same with you, like Chain Sniper. It's like all my old stuff is we watched The
Wait.
Ring. You know.
Oh, I thought you introduced me because you guys like watched the movie The Ring together. I was like, okay.
No,
That's
No.
no. His username used to be We Wants the Ring.
No, we took video game prototyping together. That's how we met.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's Corey. And I guess we'll just jump into what are you playing? And we're gonna start with Corey since he's brand new to us. Well, to you guys, he's not brand new to me.
Nice. Well, I guess first I'll talk about the whole reason this came up is heard about StarCraft 2 mods. So I went to my BattleNet account, got all sorted out. I hadn't logged in so long, and I noticed, oh, Diablo 3 Starter Edition download. I was like, all right. So I downloaded it, got Ryan to download it, and my brother, and played through probably about 6 solid hours of that.
Was it
Um,
6 hours?
yeah, I think so.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe if just the co-op, I think we were at like 5 hours, but like total, I'm at like six because I went after I bought it and entered in my code. I played it for like another hour, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I was surprised at that game. Because I also have Torchlight 2, which I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand Torchlight 2. That was really boring, and they're like the same game. So I don't understand why I like Diablo 3 and not Torchlight 2. They're so similar. They're so similar, but for some reason I think it's just the tone and the style of Diablo 3 that I like better. And the story. Like at least I'm tracking with the story with Torchlight 2. I had no idea what was going on the entire time.
Oh, I
Uh,
ignored the story when we were playing.
oh really?
Kind
Yeah.
of,
No,
yeah.
I listened to all of the little what do you call them?
Lore
Like data
pieces.
logs or whatever the audio thing that you listen to in every video game where you collect things, that kind of thing. It gives a backstory.
Yeah.
Um, I typically in games always try to find those just because it kind of fills in the story a little bit. But
I mean,
it's cool that they're optional. So if you don't want to hear it, you don't have to hear them
yeah, you just
talk
close it.
constantly. You just close the little thing and don't listen to it.
Yeah. So, do you think it's like the gameplay? Like, I don't know how most dungeon crawlers play, but like, I was kind of surprised on how much you spam power. Because I guess maybe I'm so used to the MOBA. Like, I've never played a MOBA game, but with cooldowns and I guess MMOs as well, right? Like this one, if you just have the mana, which is always constantly refilling, you can spam attacks like crazy. Like, I don't know
Oh yeah,
how is it like that in Torchlight? Like, is it similar or
yeah, it's similar. The problem is I played a different class type in Torchlight 2, so it's hard for me to compare directly because I was doing like your class, like the Demon Hunter type class, where I was all just shooting guns. So it's kind of hard to compare. So actually, maybe if I played a mage character in Torchlight, maybe I would have liked it better. Maybe that's the key, really. I don't
maybe?
know, but I think it's mostly just the story. But yeah, gameplay. Once you get to a certain point, the game gets really easy. But that's where the different difficulties in Diablo come in. I think you unlock them at like level 20 or something.
That's bizarre. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. But I think I forget, I've read something. There's like a reason for it. I don't know if I completely understood it, but there is a reasoning behind it. Um, but then you can actually get the other two difficulties. Like hardcore mode is its own thing. You can play the different difficulties on hardcore, I think. That's just like permadeath.
Yeah.
That's just
Okay.
like a separate thing. I'm not really interested in that. I just wanted it to be a little more difficult because like the three of us playing, we were just slaughtering everything. Like the
Yeah.
biggest boss, we're like whatever, just gonna breeze through this. So that's the one thing I definitely want to get harder as we go, hopefully. But I mean, we were playing like the really early stuff, so it probably
Yeah,
just eases us in.
but I almost feel like actually in games that's almost when things are the hardest because that's when you have like no powers. That's when you're stuck doing nothing. Like in our demo, I was the demon hunter or whatever, which is just a ranged character. And like at first I just was shooting a crossbow, which is okay, boring. But then I got like this rapid fire, which I'm pretty sure was the highest DPS out of all of us, and it was just fun just tearing things down. Then I got like evade and stuff like that, and so it should have been easier because like I could just evade out of the way if I ever get in trouble. But throughout the whole game, like I don't think any of us lost more than like a tenth of our life.
Yeah,
Even me, who had like barely any armor because I didn't really care for it.
yeah. The only time I died was when we accidentally went into PvP and they both ganged up on me.
Well, I knew I had a better chance against him because he was melee, so
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh cool. He's
But
frozen.
I thought we were going into like a wave based, like a horde mode.
Yeah, it seems like that.
It seemed like it. It was like talking about this arena thing, go in there, and then we all start fighting each other. Like, no, this isn't what I wanted. It
Your
was kind of fun
brother
still.
was so annoying in that though. Like I
Oh
went
yeah,
in, I was gonna go fight him, just like just kind of let it go because they said like even before you go in, like you can't die or anything like that. And so I go in and like I didn't think we were gonna use potions, like, and then next thing you know
right. He
he
was spamming potions.
yeah, like I would always get, like I kept running away and I kept getting his life down to like half health and then oh look it's back up and then I'm like
Yep,
yeah I don't want to because I don't want to waste my potions on this.
exactly. I wish there was a way to say, like no potions
I'm surprised they allow that
in
anyways.
that
It's
mode. You know what I mean? It
yeah
kind of takes away from it.
yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways, any other games?
that was the bulk of it. I played through about 2.5 hours of the original Bioshock just because the new one's coming out. I was kind of just playing through some of it again. Um, yeah, I still like that game.
Did you beat
Um,
it the first time or?
I didn't get very far the first time apparently because I've like after like 4 hours in, I've either I don't remember stuff or I haven't played it before. I don't remember. I feel like I bought it and my computer broke while I was playing it. Um, back in 2007 or whenever it was. So I think that's why I never finished it. Because actually I don't even have the original copy that I had anymore. So I want to probably play through it before I buy Infinite. So I'm probably not going to buy Infinite right at launch.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, that's the bulk of what I played. I played a little bit of the Brutal Legend multiplayer beta uh, last week.
That's going
Just
on
messed
Steam,
around
right?
with it. Yeah, it's on Steam. They had the beta. If you pre-ordered, you like save $5 and go play the multiplayer beta. So I messed around with like the playing against AI for a while. That was interesting, but I'm probably just gonna play the single player on it.
Okay. Well, we did play and beat, well, kind of beat, I guess one other. Me and Corey did. And Doug, what was the game you were wondering if it was worth it for $10?
Yeah, I got an Xbox Live today, and I saw that Fable 3 is $10. So I almost bought it until you said that you would talk about it. So I was afraid that you were gonna hate it, and then I won't buy it now. But I don't know. I don't know. Is $10? Is it worth it?
I don't know, Corey. Oh, how much did we get it for, Corey?
I think it was like 13. I think we actually paid more.
Was it a little bit more? I think that might have been it. I think we got Trine for like, I got Trine
Yeah,
too, like three of them for like $3 each.
yeah. I feel like it was like yeah, $13 or somewhere around there for
Okay,
it. But
do you want to start or do you want me to start?
why don't you start? I haven't talked for a while.
Uh, yeah, don't get it. I'm just straight up,
Oh,
don't buy it. Like, oh, okay.
damn.
So, I played my history with Fables. I played Fable 1. I got it for free when Xbox Live had an error. And
Yeah.
and then we got Fable 3 because me and Corey were looking for a co-op game. And Fable 3 was on sale for $13 or something like that. And I remember having a lot of fun with the combat, and I still had fun with the combat. It makes it a little bit better and stuff like that. But it's a pretty simple game. But we just it's such a buggy game. At least on the PC and using co-op, maybe it's better on the Xbox single player. But it like there's a trail that tells you where to go. Like a lot of games nowadays have some kind of trail to show you where to go. This trail half the time is only like 2 feet in front of you or just completely not there. It tells you to go backwards sometimes when you need to go forward. It tells you to go to places that, and it's like a lot of things that just don't make sense, and it's just I don't know. Corey, do you have any more to add to it? Because
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's so buggy. I mean, like where you run up to an area that when you step there, it loads you into the new area. If one person runs up to it, you need both people there. So the other guy runs up behind him and goes there.
oh
But no,
yeah,
you have to back away and go back because it like glitches it into like you're like went past the activation point or something. It's just really basic bugs where it's just like, really? How did this get like
through
published?
testing, yeah,
How this got through testing? Like it's ridiculous. But I mean, I heard the same kind of complaints about the 360 version, at least in co-op. That was one of the main complaints I've heard about the second one too. But yeah, I mean, even if you take away, if you take away all the bugs, you take away the co-op, and you're just talking about a single player game, at that point, it's just a mediocre single player game. It's like it's a light RPG. Light.
yeah.
Mm.
It's
I heard the
light.
menu system was bad.
oh my,
Yeah.
they don't even
Oh
have.
my goodness. There is no menu
Yeah.
system. If you want to
Basically, yeah,
save your
that's- yeah.
game, you go to this room, run up to a panel, then you go in there, then you run up to this. It's like 15 different things you have to do just to save your game.
Yeah,
If you
and-
want to like go change your dog, you have to like, it's just
so yeah,
it's
so when you save a
ridiculous.
game, usually you pause it and then you go to the save, and they don't ask you like overwrite. And, there's a few things you have to generally
Yeah.
go through. Probably the same amount in this game, but the problem is in this game you don't load just a UI. Probably the easiest thing to load up on a video game console. You have to load up a room, and then you have to go to a spot that loads up a menu, that loads up another room. Then you have to go to, you know, then you have to go to something, then it loads up another menu, and then you finally save, and then you have to exit and load back the old one while you're trying to exit. And it's just like, why is it like this?
Well, yeah. Well, then, okay, you want to go to a new town?
Oh.
The saving screen between towns was seriously like 5 to like 7 minutes sometimes. You'd just be sitting there staring at the screen, just like, what's going on? Like, I play many of the like modern games now, and loading times are like, a couple seconds.
Yeah.
It's like Fable 3, you're not doing anything special that should take longer to load this next level.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know?
that bug, or not bug, I don't know if it's considered a bug, but like the Skyrim where it like constantly saved new things, so it bogged down your game. It was kind of like that, but we weren't bogging down our own game.
Yeah.
And okay, so there's another part that I thought of. Like, so I was playing the single player version basically, and Corey was kind of just along for the ride.
Oh my
He had a
gosh.
10 times worse thing than I did. Like, we live like 30 minutes away from each other. Our internets are decent enough. And like it for him, I guess you should explain it, but he had a bunch of different problems with co-op in terms of like he doesn't see enemies that aren't there anymore, or like he sees enemies, yeah, that aren't there anymore. So I just see him like swinging at the air. I actually hear like his clashing of like swords, but it's just like, okay, you go crazy, man.
Yeah, well, we played through how many different co-op games now? Like the entire Dead Island, which is almost like 20 hours with like no lag
Yeah,
at all. And that's a glitchy game.
yeah,
You
That
know,
game
like,
was $10
it's-
too. On
Dead
the sale.
Island, if you can get
Yeah.
someone to play co-op with,
yeah, that was a pretty fun game co-op.
yeah, like that
But if
game's
it's not
super
co-op, it's
glitchy,
not
but
good.
it's usually
The story
it's
doesn't really
pretty-
hold it. I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
pretty boring. Single player, like my brother got it and just played single player and he hated it. Just
Oh.
because it's made for co-op. If you can get someone to play with you, then it was
It's like
it was fun to
Borderlands.
go through it.
It's like Borderlands
Yeah,
2.
exactly.
Probably,
well,
but I would say Borderlands is still a better single player.
yeah, I
but
was about to say it. Yeah,
it's a poor man's Borderlands.
yeah, exactly.
Just rhymed.
Yeah, for $10 would be interesting. But yeah, for me, I would swing at it was like 90% of the enemies you fought. I feel like were these skeletons.
Yeah, there weren't many.
It was like-
skeleton.
It was like the
types.
Draugrs in Elder Scrolls. That's like my main complaint about Skyrim. It's just it's Draugrs over and over again whenever you go into a cave. It was that same kind of thing, but with this, I would swing at them and it wouldn't make contact. It would just like just swish, like without hitting them. And then sometimes it would hit, and other times it wouldn't. I'm like, what's going on? And then like I would see them like their feet wouldn't move and they would just slide across the ground. But it was only like in certain combat scenarios. It wasn't always like lag. It was really weird. Can't explain it. It's very specific to this game. But so yeah, and then I would be like fighting, and then he would be like, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, "What do you mean? I'm killing guys." He's like, "There's no one there," and then they would all disappear. I'd be like,
Uh,
okay. Oh, and the other thing, he would be like, "Shh, quiet. I'm listening." I'm like, "Listening to what?"
Oh
There was
yeah.
a cutscene going on that I wasn't seeing.
I mean, it
Like
wasn't normally
seriously?
like cutscene, like rendered cutscene, but it was like them talking about the story. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Like
pretty
I
bad.
didn't get any of that, except well, then randomly I would sometimes. But
Yeah,
then I actually went in to the single player, and I didn't save any progress from playing co-op.
yeah. You
oh,
save the money and I think even like powers and stuff like that, but
But even like okay, for each mission, you kind of have these stupid little like, oh, you pick up this costume because you're gonna go pretend to be a peasant or pretend to be a chicken or something. And he would get it, and I wouldn't be able to. I would have to go through the single player and beat all those missions to get those costumes because I was a
oh,
co-op
mm.
partner. And it's just like, what? Why exactly
yeah.
can't the co-op person also have that costume? That's sort of dumb, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's just a lot of little things adding up. It's like one of those things wouldn't have been a big deal, but it's just like the entire thing is just broken across the board.
So
What do you
yeah,
guys think about the morality in the game? I've heard
What
that's like a strong
morality?
point of it. Oh, okay.
I mean, it
Like
was
there's
ambiguous.
choices you didn't feel like
there were
didn't have.
choices like press A for the good side and X for the bad side.
Yeah, it was very black and white and very just.
Oh,
We didn't finish the game, so we don't
Well,
know
yeah, we.
exactly.
But the thing is, we didn't care about any of it.
No.
Like in a Mass Effect game, in a Knights of the Old Republic game, you care in Jade Empire, you care about that universe, about the characters. So when you make a choice, you feel invested. Fable 3, I was like, I really don't care about anyone in this game. Like I thought the butler was kind of cool, but that's about it. He was the
Also,
only character with personality. What?
also, BioWare should make Jade Empire 2. Just wanted to say. You brought it up, man.
Really
Yeah.
should have
So
said it.
there you go, Doug. I hope that helps you make your decision.
wow. Okay, I guess I'm
I
not getting
want
it.
I want my 10 hours back from playing that game. Let's
Yeah.
just say
Okay. Well,
say
I guess
that.
it'll save me $10. So.
Just get Fable 1.
Yeah.
Even if it's $20 more, if you really want a Fable game, get Fable 1. Because
Is
that
it
game was at least I played it through it. It was decent enough. It was
is it
pretty
more
good.
of an RPG than Fable 3?
It's kind of the same, I think.
Okay.
But it, I would say the character. I mean, maybe it's just because we were playing co-op. Maybe there was something to it in the stories, but I kind of did care about the stories. There's some pretty big stuff. I don't know how far we even got. I know. So okay, actually, we probably should mention how we quote unquote finished the game.
Oh no.
So there's a couple of times where you're a hero. It's a pretty basic. You're in a fable and you're a hero, and so you have to convince the town that you're a good person by doing side quests, which is pretty stupid already. But it's like fine, we did it the first time, we can do it again or whatever. And so we meet it up again in another area where we have to get like 100 experience basically to continue on. And so like you can look for side quests, and we started doing them. One of them was okay. It was kind of stupid, but and then next thing you know, like you have to do these stupid like escort quests. Then you have to do stupid like fetch quests, and like you have to do a bunch of them. And one of them, when we are doing an escort quest, the guy got stuck. We were trying to fast travel, and we had that problem of like, did we go too far in? Is the guy like just glitched? And so finally we just kind of got angry. We were just there's so many bugs. We were pushing through it. We were pushing through that Corey couldn't fight skeletons correctly. We were pushing through that the fast travel was terrible. That the little trail was terrible. But finally, it was just this one guy who was just like, "Nope, I'm not going with you anymore. I'm staying right here." And so Corey got fed up. We were in a town. He started killing people, and so what we ended up doing was we found out that when you kill guards and people, you get experience for it. So I ended up killing like 51 people. He killed like 20, and he killed a bunch of guards. And we continued on that. Well, we didn't continue on, but we finally got enough guild seals to continue on, and then we just quit. We're like, okay, we're done. We killed everyone. Now we're their hero. Some sacrifices were worth it, I
We
guess.
killed so many people.
Yeah, we killed towns worth people. So yeah, that's why we just like, yeah, we're I think we're done.
We want to take we felt like we just need to take revenge on the game for ruining our lives. We were just like, and then with the whenever you commit a crime and they're after you, there's this bell that's ringing and ringing and it doesn't stop. We played for like with that bell ringing for at least a half an hour, just constant bling bling bling. It was like the most obnoxious sound ever.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that's one of those positions where, yeah, I want co-op in pretty much every game, but don't force it too hard where the
Or at
co-op.
least take the time to fix the bugs.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on. Yeah.
Anyways, that's our Fable 3 review. Hope you guys liked it. We got a 5 out of 5. No,
Yeah.
out of crap. Okay. Anyways, so I don't remember if I said this, but since last time, I've had my PS3 a little bit longer now. I got Heavy Rain with a Christmas gift card I got, and I've been playing this with my dad. Well, I'm having my dad play it, and I watch it since I've already seen 2 Let's Plays of it, but I wanted to own it anyways because I love it so much. And it's kind of interesting, see, like, he can't, when I like try to have him play Call of Duty, just because he's there, he can't really control both sticks, very well. Like, he has to move and then turn and then shoot, right? And but it's kind of fun because Heavy Rain is mostly quick time events, and his reflexes haven't disappeared completely yet. But it's kind of fun watching because like I really wanted to try this with my dad and my mom watching, and I think my dad's enjoying it. I think it's a game that really shows how different video games can be. It's not all kill everything. Like Heavy Rain hits you pretty hard pretty quickly. Like, and then they do that on purpose. It's just it's such a strong game in terms of emotionally. And anyways, we're about halfway through that game, and I said I started Ni no Kuni last time, and I have now finished it about 50 hours later.
Wow.
So last time I skipped through it, Doug reminded me I should have done this the first time. Was to describe Ni no Kuni, it's basically it's a classic JRPG. It's pretty much that in every sense of the word. There's a big open world. There's some side quests, but it's a pretty general story, I guess you can say. So like the combat is probably the most interesting. You have your character who has like some magic spells, and then you get other characters who have their own little thing. But the biggest thing is you get like monsters. So it's kind of like Pokemon in that term. So like you can catch wild ones, you can train them up, they evolve and stuff like, and you can even feed them food that makes them stronger in certain stats, and it's a lot of fun. If you love Pokemon and and then you also like Studio Ghibli or want maybe a better story than just gotta catch them all. I would strongly consider this game. It's a game that even though I finished it already, I finished the story. It's a game I kind of want to go back to and just because I like seeing all the different all the different like monsters or familiars, I think is what they're called. And then there's also like alchemy. There's a wizards. I don't know how really to describe. There's so much to the game that you kind of just have to play it for yourself. But it's if you were looking for a good JRPG, if you like Studio Ghibli stuff, if it's a very good game. But I would say the biggest thing to me was I'm kind of surprised. Like there are a lot of parts in the game where like it's it says it's basically saying here be emotional, here be sad, be happy. And I kind of felt it, but as a guy who's actually generally pretty involved with stories, like I laugh and cry at like every anime I watch. I laugh and cry at every comedy and stuff like that. I'm a pretty big sucker in terms of being emotionally attached to characters. But this game, for some odd reason, I didn't feel quite as attached. And I don't know if this is based on me trying to, because I did every side mission in the game before I continued on, basically. And I don't know, like I've always said that I don't like that because it gets me completely away from the story, and I kind of forget, and the pacing becomes terrible, right? You know, you have it like
Yeah.
it says like, oh, we got to go visit this guy really quickly, otherwise, the world's gonna end. Oh wait, first let me go get this guy some bananas.
Yeah.
It's like what? And and so I don't know if it was a pacing problem. I don't know if maybe I'm just not a maybe I wouldn't like Princess Mononoke and all Studio Ghibli stuff. I don't know exactly why, but I didn't feel quite as like I guess just emotional is the best word I can think of for it. But yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean I don't know, like Corey, do you like you said you wanted to try it out, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely not playing it for 50 hours though.
Well, I mean
I
it's
mostly just wanted to toy around with it for a couple hours.
well a couple hours is gonna be like
Well,
the
yeah.
first hour. Okay, now Studio Ghibli like they did some animations in it, but in the beginning it's pretty heavy on them, and then all the way until the end, even the ending didn't have that much animation by them. Like they have a lot of cutscenes, but half of them are just
In game,
in
yeah.
game, yeah. So
Yeah, I
like
mean, I'm probably going to play about the same amount that I played of Persona 4. You know, like just enough to kind of get past all the hand holding, get into the game a little, play the game, like the game for a couple hours, and then stop.
yeah.
Just because JRPGs, the gameplay is not the reason I play it. You know what I mean? I usually get sick of the gameplay.
Yeah.
In most JRPGs, it's usually the story. I wish they would just like do like have a skip like Mass
Watch
Effect 3,
anime.
just like the skip all the combat thing. Like I wouldn't do that in any other type of game really. Like I wouldn't do that in Mass Effect, but I would like it for JRPGs if they're just like skip all the gameplay. Let me just give me the story because like Persona 4, I really like the characters and the story, but the combat got I don't know, I didn't like it after a while.
Well, the combat actually, I would say Ni no Kuni's combat is kind of like Persona's evolved, if that actually makes any sense. Because right in Persona you can have like your regular attack and defend, I think, and but this game, you can move around. If you're moving around, you actually evade stuff if they attack and miss. So there's it's a little bit more involved. It's kind of like a mix of Persona with like maybe even Final Fantasy 13 in terms of moving, but you don't like
Mhm.
button mash to attack. You just press an attack button. So it's I don't know. You might actually like it's a little bit more involved in terms of gameplay. I don't know
Okay.
if I mean I still don't think you'll probably finish it all,
No way.
but I don't know. Maybe you'll like it a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah, I've had two friends offer to lend it to me, you and another friend. Well, like, you need to play this.
Well,
Like,
I
okay.
I just know you wanted to play it and I finished it, and it seems like your friend's still playing or something.
Yeah, he probably is.
So I was just like, I finished it. Get it to you as quick as possible so I can get it back and play more of it. Because I also have other games I need to play. I
Yeah, you
also
wouldn't have to
want,
worry about me hogging it for a long time.
yeah. I want to borrow Uncharted from you. So,
Exactly.
anyways, that's the games I've been playing. I mean, other than some co-op games with Corey, I don't think I've been playing anything else. So that's for me. How about you, Doug?
Well, I've got a couple games. First, I'll talk a little bit about Assassin's Creed 3. I'm as Ryan knows, I'm in a clan for Assassin's Creed 3 called the Reckoners. We play, online, the multiplayer. And recently, there's been this really big glitch. Well, it's not glitch. It's what do you call it? The a hack or it's
Exploit.
not a hack, but it's an exploit. That's what it is.
Okay.
There's this really, really bad exploit where in the game where if you're playing the game normally and you die like 5 times in a row without killing anyone, in the game like there's a loss streak. Like it tries to like get you back into the game. Like it'll show you where your next opponent is, like through walls or there's one where it's called a minor hack where you can kill someone from a distance. Like, you see them, you just kill them instantly. Okay.
Okay.
Well, there's this exploit now where people have figured out how to get it to where they die a whole bunch of times, but then they can get the minor hack glitch over and over again. So now the game has just turned into it's really, really widespread because somebody posted a tutorial on how to do the glitch online. So basically, a lot of the matches now are people just doing the exploit and then just running around killing everyone they see. Just it's pretty awful. So basically,
How do people die then? Like, because you have to die in the first place, right? So as people just kind of going like, "Go kill me! What up? Go kill me! Come
yeah,
on!"
they just like they'll join a game, then they'll just keep running up to people, getting killed, and then and then you'll have multiple people doing it. Like 8 people are in a match, 3 people are trying to do the exploit, and then even when they die, the exploit keeps going. So basically, a couple people get it, and then they just start killing everyone, try to avoid getting killed, and then you just get super high scores, and it's like it really like destroyed like the online gameplay right now, and it's really kind of sad. But
Do you know if
I don't know. Some
Ubisoft?
people,
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
a lot of people are like the reason it got posted, like a tutorial was made on it, was because people have known about the glitch for about I don't know, a week or two, probably a little longer than that. Like I only known about it for about a week or two, but Ubisoft wasn't like they didn't make a big deal out of it, like, a fix is coming in a week or two, or, they basically, there were some, the guys, they were just like, oh, yeah, we know about it. They weren't like, I guess certain people wanted to be like really I don't know, they wanted to know timetables or something. So some people got pissed, some people got angry, and then, I don't know, personally think it's childish. Some people, act like they're like some, Dark Knight or something, like they're Batman by, posting this, tutorials to where, basically everyone does it now, and it's basically ruined online. So, if you want a good match, you really have to like, get a group of people together, and then,
Group of friends, kind of thing.
yeah, basically that's the only way you can, play online now. Or a lot of people are going back to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which I recently bought off there was a sale the other day for that too. They had all the Assassin's Creed games on sale, and I bought that for $10. And I went back to it when I finished Assassin's Creed 3. When I finished it, I pretty much, when I ranked the games, I decided that Assassin's Creed 3 probably was right up there with Brotherhood for my favorite. And now that I've gone back to Brotherhood, I've been trying to platinum it, get all the achievements or whatever. I'm only one away, but it really made me realize like how much better Assassin's Creed 3 is than Brotherhood. The story is really good for Brotherhood, but the gameplay, the controls, the combat system is just really far superior in Assassin's Creed 3. So I guess I guess we'll talk about that in a little bit. But another game I've been playing, I bought off the sale, is El Shaddai. I guess, Corey, you've played this too. Ascension into the Metatron. I bought that for $3 off the sale, and
Nice.
it's a pretty freaky game. I don't know, Corey, what's been your like experience with it?
I didn't play a lot of it. I just bought it because it just looks so bizarre. It was on sale on Amazon for $360 at one point. I think it's $360. So I just picked it up, and I popped it in for a little while. My younger brother played it a lot longer than I did. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I
Very
started playing
strange.
it. I was like, I just, I bought that and Dark Messiah of Might and Magic for $3 too. I really enjoyed the sales they've been having recently, but I bought that game, and I've played that the El Shaddai. I'm probably not even saying it right, but I've played that for probably half an hour, 45 minutes, and it's so freaking weird. You're like this angel, I think, and you're like sent to get some other angels because they left, and you have to fight them. And I don't even know, like,
Yeah.
I fight people, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to be losing, but like every time I fight like 1-on-1 with someone, I lose, but the game doesn't like change. I just like keep going. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be losing or I have no idea if it's like a really cool system to where if I win, like the game changes, or if I don't know. It's just every time I fight 1-on-1 with someone, they just destroy me. So and then it's just like, okay, run to the next guy, and I'm like, okay, sweet, and then I murder like countless little henchmen on the way there. But it's extreme. It's a Japanese game, and it's just I've played it for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and I like that right there is like I feel like I should know more about the game than I do, but I don't know. It's extreme, but hey, $3, I can't really complain. So
It's an action game, right? Like a hack and slash action game.
Yeah.
yeah, and there's like some platforming, I guess, too, and
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it's worth, I mean, I've already gotten, some weird, enjoyment out of it. It's something I would have never played, except for this sale. So, I mean,
Yeah, $3
I'll
is
probably have fun with it. Yeah, I mean, I can't really foresee a scenario in which I'm going to be like, oh man, I wish I wouldn't, spent that $3 and, went and got, like a burger or something instead. But,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, $3. It's like it's hard to argue. Like even if you get 1 hour of gameplay that's just kind of meh, that's almost just worth the $3 because you tried it out. Like who cares? It's $3.
Yeah, I also got Dark Messiah Might and Magic, and I played that a little bit online. I can't even believe it's like a 360 game because the graphics are like so terrible.
Oh
But
man. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably gonna be, I don't know, worth it. I played a little bit. I had a little fun, but I really hope they keep this sales, $3, $4, $5 that they're having. It's
It's
pretty
almost
cool.
like
I'm gonna.
it's
So
almost like
basically
they're
like
learning
Steam.
from.
Like yeah,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I mean,
because
yeah,
I would have, this is money that they would have never gotten if they wouldn't have done. I would have never bought these games. I would have never, it's just pure profit for them, to do this. And who knows? Maybe I'll, finish this El Shaddai game and then I'll like it and I'll buy, the next one that comes out. So I mean, I think it's a really good deal for, it's smart for them.
yeah. We talked about that in the last time where it's just like if they're gonna copy Steam with digital stuff. I mean, obviously, I guess we can talk about PS4 now. I don't want to talk too much about it, but PS4 confirmed that they're not gonna deny used games. But I also read, I don't know, I didn't really check it because I didn't care that much, but I read that they do plan on having digital copies for each sale they have, and
Yeah.
that right there is just like screaming to me. And then now adding on to the Xbox having a lot more sales. Yeah, I saw that onto when I started on my Xbox today, and I was just like, oh, there's sales. It was taking forever to load, so I didn't care. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like that connected with the PS4 digital stuff. That's like, yeah, it's if you like Steam, or get used to the Steam product or Steam
Yeah.
style or whatever.
Yeah. I
Format.
mean, when the
Yeah.
PS5 comes out, it
Yeah.
probably won't have an optical drive. Everyone kept saying it was going to happen now. And I was like, society is not ready for an all digital, for an all online
No, yeah.
console. There's a lot of people that still don't have internet in the, like Midwest. Like a lot of people aren't ready for it. But by the PS5, the 360, Xbox, whatever, we'll be ready for an all digital kind of solution. But I'm glad we're seeing them actually competing with Steam now.
Yeah.
For the longest time, like, oh, there's a really good sale today. Come look, there's like $2.50 off a $60 game or something. Like,
I
great,
know, yeah.
Microsoft,
Stupid.
good sale. You
Yeah.
go over to Steam and it's like, oh, I can get like XCOM for like $15 or something. It's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You get XCOM for free for buying or pre-ordering BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
But that was
So, like everything
Yeah,
on those
if it
pre-orders. I'm
reaches
looking
it.
through them, like I have all of these games already. I mean, sure I could gift them, but it's just kind of like,
Yeah, you should
I
get
don't
them
know.
to me. Actually, if you do get it, you're gonna pre-order it, right? If it makes it. You wanted me to play XCOM, right?
Yeah, I do want to have friends to play the multiplayer because I don't want to play that game just online with people. Same with like StarCraft. I'm not gonna just
Yeah.
go play
RTS is
StarCraft
scary.
online. I'm just gonna get demolished and not gonna have a good time. Whereas if I'm playing with a friend, we're both kind of new to it. then it's a lot more enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we actually all three of us saw our Red Alert 3 experiment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Until my computer blew up. So,
Yeah. Um.
God, it's still sitting here next to me. It's like a foot from me right now, just looking all sad and terrible. Just,
Fix it.
I have no idea. Like, I think I have to replace my motherboard or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Um. Oh, so I mean, I don't know how much did you guys see of the PS4 thing? Just quickly, any thoughts or
Yeah, I
comments on
saw
it?
it.
Looks cool.
I don't know. Yeah, it was exciting. Yeah. It
Like,
was, none of the really bad things that people were worried about. I felt like it was pretty much none of that happened, and I don't know. I'm pretty excited for it. If Xbox 360, I mean, this is like an opportunity for PS4 to really get me from Xbox, because if Xbox wants to do something funny, like that's gonna piss off gamers, then I'll gladly make the switch. I'm not married to Xbox, so
I
But
am.
all your downloadable games. That's
yeah.
the thing.
I
When you
mean,
get tied into an ecosystem, but the thing is,
yeah,
I'm just tied into both. I have PS3 and Xbox downloadable
yeah,
games. I just I have games everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly though, like, even like, okay, so I said this before PS4 came out. Like, I feel like people are overreacting, and I feel like people are going, oh, now this is an Xbox court. I just feel like there's no way Xbox is not even gonna stray that much from PS3 or PS4. Like,
Yeah.
how
yeah,
like how different are the PS3 and 360 right now? Barely, and like, you can talk about how the PS3 was struggled early on with the graphics, but like in the end, there's like why is like one of the biggest things for Xbox has always been, oh, you can have cross game chat. In the end, who that's really not that big of a deal. Like, it's a cool
Uh,
feature. It's a cool feature, but it's
it's
not
pretty
like,
big for multiplayer stuff. I think the only reason we don't care is because we don't play multiplayer games on the PS3.
yeah. I think that's
Honestly.
actually a kind
no,
of a
but it's
really big
cross
deal.
game. It's cross game stuff.
Well, but I like cross game because then you can just bounce around to different games. If you get kicked out of a match, you don't lose your voice connection.
Okay,
And
I
there's a
mean,
lot of people that are like part of clans or online communities that they're friends outside of their games. So if one's playing one game and they want to talk, that's
yeah,
a
but like,
huge
is it
kind of
really?
feature for Xbox that I'm
No,
sure that
I'm not saying that it's not like something that should be considered, but I'm saying like it's saying, oh, I can't talk to my friend while I'm playing PS3. Well, you have things like Skype. You have other ways to do it. For one, and for two,
Okay.
it's just kind of like like I'm just saying. My biggest point is just that this is such a big feature. That's the biggest difference between them. It's not about like, oh, the Xbox has 1080p graphics while the PS3 has standard def. Like, or like, look at the Wii versus the Xbox and PS3. Look at
Yeah.
those big differences. You wouldn't go like, well, the Wii doesn't have cross game. No, you're going, no, the Wii has terrible online. It has a terrible controller. It has terrible games or whatever. You're not thinking about like, oh, I can't chat with my friends. That's how close the 360 and PS3 to me were, and I feel
Yeah.
like it's gonna be the same with
oh
the
yeah,
next Xbox and
Yeah.
like,
Well, and the early leaks on the PS3 hardware were super accurate, and basically all the reports are pointing to the 360 hardware being very, very similar, down to like, okay, they have the same processor, they have the same this and that, but like, oh, this one has X number more uh, video cores or something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like nitty gritty differences. I mean, I think it's going to be very even more similar, yeah, especially on the development side, because development for like the cell processors for the PS3 versus like the triple core thing for the 360, that was actually a huge difference for developers. We're like, now it sounds like they can do their PC, like they can just port all of them a lot easier this time,
yeah. So I mean,
which is great because that means less exclusives, hopefully.
well, no, it doesn't it more. It more means like less terrible ports.
That too, that too.
I mean, I mean, I guess maybe. Well, because I feel like exclusives are because Microsoft, tries to get exclusives and Sony tries to get exclusives.
Yeah, it's true. Well,
I
but
mean,
but sometimes it's because they don't have the resources to, like, if
yeah,
they
I mean,
develop a
it's the best
360,
offer.
they
Yeah,
don't port it to PS3 because it would cost X number of dollars.
yeah. I mean that the biggest reason there's exclusives early on wasn't necessarily because the PS3 was harder to, or it was newer or whatever. But like I remember, like you look at Mass Effect and BioWare, both were Xbox exclusives, and it just took time for I don't know if it's necessarily because the PS3 or it was hard to do. I think it was just because Microsoft owned it and just said, like how Microsoft now has a bunch of like, oh, get the DLC for 1 month earlier. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
no, Microsoft definitely pays for that stuff. But early on in PS3, a lot of developers avoided it because it
yeah,
was
yeah.
hard to develop for.
I remember,
But
like, yeah,
but
Sony had to like hire specifically, like, please work on something and get something good out and show people.
well, and that's the big thing of the PS4 announcement. The biggest thing for me was just it was a message to developers like, hey, it's gonna actually be fun to develop for this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like come back.
Well,
Do
now
it
it's
right this time,
well, it's kind of like now it's like, well, I'm kind of used to the PS3 stuff.
Yeah.
Made me learn it. Now I don't have to learn it. And anyways, I guess we can move on to let's I'll let Doug take it from here.
Oh, I guess I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but I guess we can talk about it sort of more in depth.
Wait,
I
wait,
said
wait.
earlier
Assassin's Creed 4?
Oh, I thought we were gonna. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
No.
yeah. Okay. Let's go with Assassin's Creed 4 then. Just a couple hours ago, there was a trailer leaked for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which it wasn't supposed to come out till Monday. So Ubisoft has
Hang on, Doug, hang on.
Oh no, it wasn't Ubisoft that leaked it. It was what is it, Radar Games or what?
Your Skype
Your
is going
Cylon.
crazy. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. There was a trailer. Okay. There was a trailer leaked by Radar Games, I believe. There was an embargo. Basically, Ubisoft had this big Assassin's Creed 4 party. You invited a bunch of publishers to it. Nobody could talk about anything that was there until Monday, when they were going to release a whole bunch of information and a trailer. Well, one company, I think it's Radar Games. It's something Radar. Accidentally posted the trailer to YouTube earlier, and
Oh, they probably meant to do like unlisted or something, or private.
yeah, it's kind of a
Oops.
I don't know, they're probably screwed. I mean, Ubisoft
Yeah.
is probably gonna
No
never
one's
give
be
them
sending them
anything.
copies of anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. The trailer's pretty awesome. You're gonna be playing Edward Kenway, which is Haytham Kenway's father, who is Connor's father. So you're
okay.
playing Connor's grandfather, and you're a pirate. Well, that you're speculated to be a pirate. You're going to be doing piratey things, I guess. And it's going to be taking place in like the Caribbean, that sort of area. And I don't know. I'm super excited about it. When the info first came out a few days ago, there was like a poster release about this game. I was kind of nervous about it because I felt like the next logical step for the series to go to would have been Connor going to the French Revolution. But I was afraid that they decided to do this because they built this whole naval system for Assassin's Creed 3, which was very good but underutilized. So I felt like when I first heard this info, I was like, I felt like that they were trying to, I don't know, give themselves some time before the next generation of consoles comes out. Like, they wanted to put out something this fall, but they didn't want to put out something huge and new, so they went like a safe route. But the info that's come out recently, I don't know, I was nervous at first, but now I'm just super excited again, and I can't wait till October 29th is going to be the release. They're going to release it for Xbox 360, PS3, Wii U, and whatever new consoles are coming out, PS4, and then the mysterious Xbox One. So I don't know. Are you guys excited for it like I am?
Corey?
Well, not really. I mean, I'm not an Assassin's Creed guy, so I mean, for me, I was kind of surprised. Like, wait, didn't Assassin's Creed 3 just come out?
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, it was like, wait a minute, I thought that just came out, and I was surprised just because it felt like Assassin's Creed 3 had less of a warm reception than a lot of the other Assassin's Creed games. So I thought they were going to take their time with this one. And I feel like you were kind of right with like the playing it safe thing. I was expecting them to do like a true next gen launch, like like
Yeah.
hold it off 1 year and then just be like, this is a an Xbox whatever and a PS4 game.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I was expecting to happen in my mind. So when they came out with this, I was like, this is kind of like the in between game. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
is like the Black Ops or World at War. You know what I mean? Like the in between game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
The trailer that was released was all CGI, so we didn't get to see any gameplay. I don't know. That'll be like a real test to see how much really effort they're going to put into it. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't.
is it really gonna be called Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag?
Yeah, that is one thing that's really odd, and a lot of the community is really confused about why they did it this way. Because up until this point, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3 have all been the start of new protagonists. So, I mean, it would make sense that we're going to have a new one, Edward. It would be Assassin's Creed 4. But none of the other numbered titles have had names after them. Those have been reserved for Ezio's two sequels, Brotherhood. Well, actually, Ezio and Altair in Revelations as well. So we've never had an AC number name. So I don't if they're gonna really expound on that why it is that way. I don't know. They probably what's gonna end up what it is they didn't want to just call it Assassin's Creed Black Flag because maybe that would hurt sales if people thought, because I know a lot of people didn't buy Brotherhood or Revelations just
Yeah,
because,
that's true.
they didn't think it was like, they knew it wasn't Assassin's Creed 3. So, I don't know. That's probably why they ended up doing it. I don't know if they're going to keep doing it that way. Like the next game will be Assassin's Creed 5 name, but I don't know.
Well,
I
yeah,
was annoyed by it at first, but it's okay. I mean, it's just a name. So,
yeah. I just thought it was interesting, yeah, because in the past, it seemed like the big jump forward with new stuff would be a numbered one. So it
yeah.
felt like this one would be, like you're saying, like an Assassin's Creed Brotherhood kind of thing, like the in between, and then the next gen is 4. Because when you add a number to something, like psychologically, we expect, okay, this is like the
Next
big
big
jump
jump.
forward.
Yeah.
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 And that's
So
why I'm kind
I
of
feel
worried.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm kind of worried that because the yearly releases are basically here to stay. It's going to happen.
yeah,
Uh, Assassin's Creed is Ubisoft is a huge company, and Assassin's Creed is they put like a huge amount of resources into Assassin's Creed. They have multiple teams working on multiple games. They likely have the next one after Black Flag being worked on right now as well.
oh yeah.
So I mean, the yearly is here to stay. I'm just worried about, I wish they would have just called it Assassin's Creed Black Flag because I don't want to get, in 5 years they're going to be Assassin's Creed 10, Assassin's Creed 11. It's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised they didn't do like the what was that?
Go ahead. Go.
I have no idea. My phone just freaked out for a second. Okay.
Like with Call of Duty, what they do is they have like like every other year it's the Black Op, with the
Yeah.
number added, and then it's the Modern Warfare with the number added. I'm surprised they didn't come up with a similar kind of scheme where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that this year it's going to be like this branch of the Assassin's Creed, and then this year it's that branch. I think that's sort of smart that Call of Duty does that, so that way they're not up to Call of Duty like 8 or something.
Yeah. That's why
Yeah.
I thought when we first heard about Black Flag, there was like some rumors that Edward Kenway was going to be the protagonist for a couple weeks now. There was a leak on Reddit. Somebody posted a whole bunch of stuff about it, and I mean, what I figured was we're going to have this game, and then we're going to have another game that sort of finishes. This is going to be like sort of the Connor Kenway trilogy. So we'll have Connor, we'll have Edward, and then we'll have
Yeah.
Connor again. So I'm kind of worried. Well, I'm not worried. It's just confusing to me that they've now moved on to 4 already, and I don't know. It doesn't make much sense.
I mean, you probably hit the head, nail on the head. There you go. With that,
Yeah.
it probably hurts their game sales a lot to not put a new number
Yeah.
on it.
I think that's really what it boils down to is Brotherhood Revelations. They put a lot of time into those games, and they don't want to lose the sales. I don't know why my phone is doing this.
It's a Skype message. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's something to do with Skype. I don't understand. Okay.
Just um yeah, like when you said that it's so the new guy is Connor's grandfather, right?
Yes.
So like it's not even like a completely new genre, like it's not, or not genre, but time
Well, it's gonna
period.
be kind of a lot different because
Well, I know, but it's still the
Connor
same
spent a lot
time
of time.
period,
Well, yeah. It takes
kind of.
place. What is it? It takes place about 60 years into the before Connor. It
Yeah,
takes place
so
1715. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be kind of really. I think it is gonna be really fresh because it's a totally different environment. Boston and New York and the frontier was really snowy, and Connor spent a lot of time in trees, and I can't see Edward. I'm kind of worried that they're gonna have him, doing
time boats.
tree running and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like it'll be fresh. I'm really interested to see some gameplay, because the CGI you really can't tell anything from it.
It looks good
Assassin's
though.
Creed always,
The
yeah, Assassin's Creed has
CGI.
always had awesome trailers.
Yeah.
I am interested in the end of it where he does like a new blend walk where he just grabs that lady after assassinating her, guy friend or whatever and walking away with her. I hope they have more stuff like that because just walking away with like 4 people in a blend group, isn't really realistic. I'm excited about little stuff like that.
Wait, you
Kind
mean
of,
just walking with the 4 random monks that go out to the town isn't realistic?
yeah, I know.
From Assassin's Creed
I
1.
hope they have more, like, just you kill someone, then you grab someone and walk with them and act like you always see that in movies and stuff. Somebody will some guy he'll do something, and then a woman will there he'd be like, okay, kiss me, or whatever, and the bad guy, oh, he's not looking at the, oh, those 2 people are making out. I don't, I won't look at them. I just
I know the
I
guy
like
we're looking for has a white robe, but I don't think it's him because he wouldn't be making out with that girl right now.
yeah
Exactly.
yeah.
Are they ever gonna get rid? Like, are they ever gonna like somehow put some kind of like realism to? Hey, I am in a white robe every single time I do whatever I'm
Well,
doing.
a lot of people are freaking out on the forums. I spent a lot of times on the forums before we started this. A lot of people are freaking out because the hood is no longer beaked. The hat no longer the eagle beak. It's just a normal like hoodie now. And
Oh my
I don't
gosh,
know.
really?
People are a lot of people are so angry. There's a huge thread in the Ubisoft forums because there's a 2-second clip of 2 women, 2 prostitutes in a bed, and people are like, "Oh my God, it's Ezio
Oh
over
yeah,
again." Oh,
he's a
they're just
pirate.
cashing in. I know. What else is he gonna spend his money on?
That's why I want a goddamn ninja.
Yeah, it's
That's although I was thinking I was gonna say like, oh, pirates are so overdone, and I'm like, well, ninjas are probably overdone too.
how many? I
Oh
don't know.
yeah.
How many pirate games have you really played?
Exactly.
I've
That's what I was
I
thinking.
have
I was like,
I have one. I
but
have one
pirates,
really
What?
awful one.
pirates versus ninjas. That has
No,
both.
no. Oh, what's it called? It's so bad. Um, come on, what is it called? All right, keep talking. I'll find it.
Uh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I'm
I
excited.
mean,
A lot of people are worried that it's going to be really, really heavily naval gameplay, uh, and that oh my God, it's not Assassin's Creed anymore, and we're just going to be going sailing the open seas, and it's not going to be Assassin's Creed. We're not going to be killing anyone. It just I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I feel like it'll be in there the appropriate amount. Ubisoft's not stupid. They're not going to make this
I don't know. They make you use UPlay, so.
Oh my gosh,
Um.
Uplay is the worst. It's
Uh,
Risen 2,
where's
I don't-
Dark
I like-
Waters.
but I'm on console, so I don't mind it.
Yeah. In consoles, it's kind of like built in, but
Yeah.
with
Yeah, it
on
just gives me like free stuff, so I like it.
on Steam, yeah, like when we were doing Far Cry 3, we had to load up UPlay, and then on Steam it says we're already playing the game, even though we're just loading up the UPlay part. It was just weird.
It's
I,
jank.
yeah, I mean, for me personally, uh, I Assassin's Creed is still like right there. It's just kind of like just show me something I want and I'll buy you again. And I've never liked pirates or anything like that. So when they finally go to the eastern part of the
Space.
world, I'll maybe even space. Not just kidding. Uh, I mean, they could technically, right? Like, I don't know.
Sure.
Does it ever say the year Desmond is in?
Desmond's like the Assassin's Creed 3 ended on December 21st, 2012.
Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe not space.
Well, it can take place in the future after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess they can push it forward.
Well, there's always been speculation of like, you know how Desmond's reliving memories in the past in an Animus. People have always speculated that
Go in the future.
we're reliving Desmond's memories. So the present isn't actually, the present
Inception.
isn't actually, but
Boom,
I don't know.
boom.
That's I don't think that's the case. So.
I doubt it. I think it's much easier. Like, I mean, what's one of the big things about Assassin's Creed is being able to go back to those times and remodel the buildings based off pictures and stuff like that. I don't think they're
Yeah.
going to go into a future where they have to make. I mean, like, not saying that they can't do that, but it's a lot
Yeah.
easier to take off something that has
Well.
been done and you can copy off.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. So.
Yeah, so I guess that's Assassin's Creed 4. Personally, I guess me and Corey aren't excited for it. Doug is.
Yeah. I'm,
Overall, that's our synopsis of that.
I love how I only talk about Assassin's Creed, but I feel like every time we do something, something with Assassin's Creed is happening. So
Well, it does come out
that's
yearly.
what I always
So.
end up talking
Like-
about.
Because they're always coming out.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I feel like there's more news in like Call of Duty stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was thinking like, well, yeah, that's kind of like Call of Duty, and I go, well, no, there's not really much on the next Call of Duty yet.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back. And we're back from my potty break. Anyways, so before Doug was going to transition into this, what I meant to do Assassin's Creed 4. Doug, would you like to resume that, unpause, back to where you're talking about Brotherhood?
Yeah, sure. Recently, off that sale that they had, I bought Brotherhood again for $10. It's a game that I've had a really high opinion of when I rank my top favorite games of all time. I popped it in. Really, it was a good experience when I went back to it. But one thing that sort of bothers me at this point is after I've played 3, the combat and free running is just so much better in 3 that it's kind of hard to play Brotherhood again, and it sort of hurt my opinion of it when I think of there a lot of times people talk about what are your favorite games of all time, and it made me really think about, should I rank this game based on how it was when I first played it, or when I'm making this list, should I rank it on, if I were to play these games now, which ones would I like most? And it sort of was really interesting to me. How do you guys, when you sort of think about your favorite games of all time, do you sort of put yourself in the frame of mind of when you first played it? Or if you were to play these games again now, I would like this one the best, this one the next, and I don't know, how do you guys sort of justify that in your mind?
Corey, do you want to take it first, or?
Sure. I mean, I guess the same way I treat films a lot of times, I kind of do put myself in that time, because it's not fair to be like, oh, the graphics in this, Super Nintendo game don't look as good as my 360, therefore it's not a good game anymore. You know what I mean? I kind of put myself, like when I play A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo, I still really like that game. That's one of the games I think is sort of timeless. Like the gameplay is still fun.
It's simple enough.
It's simple. So yeah, I guess I do put myself in that frame of mind, and like even newer but older, like 2004 games. Like when I play Half-Life 2, I look at it and it's like, oh sure, those ground textures look pretty awful, but is it still fun to play? Do I still like the characters? Things like that. I guess are the more things that I care about in general anyways. I guess if you are truly the type of person that only cares about graphics, like my brother's that way. Like he doesn't like older games at all because I think for him the graphics is much more important than a lot of other things. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So, but for me, that's never the top priority. So when a game ages, it doesn't bother me as much because that wasn't my highest priority, anyways.
So, for me, like, I feel like I don't even have to have that mindset of, oh, this is an old game, so I have to remember that. I mean, like, the earliest memory I have of video gaming is '98, and the only game I really remembered liking was StarCraft Brood War. And sprites, they don't really go. I mean, there's definitely better sprites now, but it's not like they were the greatest looking thing even then. Like, I look at StarCraft 2, like the cutscenes in the game and like stuff like that look freaking fantastic. If you ever seen the CGI trailers of
Hmm.
those, but it's not like a little 3D marine sprite on a giant map looks that great anyways. So that that game, when I go back to it, I love it. But there's other games that, like, I don't really have many past games that I would say I love and I have to have that mindset because I mean Jade Empire is probably the closest thing to
I
it.
was gonna say Jade Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, like, but like, so graphics don't really affect me either in terms of going back in time, unless it's one of those ones, which probably Jade Empire is, but one of those ones where like it was transitioning between like 2D, yeah, probably no, more like the PS1 era with like Final Fantasy VII, where they're like polygons instead of people. Like that's not, that might bother me, but like if it as long as they look somewhat decent, it's probably way in the past or more recent is fine, but uh, otherwise graphics don't really bother me. The thing with Jade Empire is the combat is still kind of fun, but it's still pretty janky. I would say that's the hardest thing I have to uh, adjust to, I guess. But I think in general, the games I do replay, I don't have to adjust, so I don't know really what to say there.
So you guys have never had like a game where I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna play a game that I played when I was a wee little lad. Then you pop it in and then you're wow, this is not as good as I remember it. You guys haven't had like an experience like that?
Oh no, I definitely have, but it usually wasn't my favorite game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it
I
was
guess yeah.
what game was there? I was thinking of on N64 that we popped in recently where I was like, yeah, this game's not very good. Like just objectively, you know what I mean? It was
Mhm.
because I played it when I was a little kid and I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
It's not because it's old. It's just because it was never a good game. So I think a good game's always a good game. You know what I mean? Like as far as like fun, the fun factor and things like that. Like a lot of games, like I think Blizzard a good example of they focus on story and the
Hmm.
art and not necessarily the graphics engine being the best of the best. Whereas like Crytek, they focus 100% on graphics and like zero on the art and the story. You know what I mean? Like Crisis.
So like a game like that like wouldn't hold up over time. You wouldn't think, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas a lot of Blizzard games like I went back and played a Warcraft 3 and like it's still a fun game.
Hmm.
So I think some companies are better at that. I'm trying to think of there's one game in particular in 64 that was especially bad that um, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I guess it's just my favorite games, like the top ones, usually are the ones that
Yeah.
aged well, like
And
A
I
Link
don't
to the
mean
Past, you know.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And I don't mean to act like I don't like Brotherhood now. It's just going back to it is really hard. I felt like I would enjoy it a lot more, like playing it. I would sit down and just maybe replay the game, but after playing three and getting that control system down, it's just so much. It just loads better. It's way better. The combat, the free running, all that. The story and all that is still really good for Brotherhood and the the atmosphere and everything. So I still enjoy that. It's just it's sort of ruined. I wouldn't say ruined. I would still count it among my favorite games. It's just I don't look on it as fondly as I once did. I would say.
For me, it's like this was one topic I was thinking of doing one time, but if we went to it like nostalgia, like I've never really been too heavily affected by nostalgia in my opinion. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like when Halo 2 is probably the biggest example. Like, I remember having loads of fun in that game, because a lot of it was glitches and stuff like that. But I'm not one of those Halo guys that like are obsessed like, oh, we need the Halo 2 remake that has the exact same, BXR and BXB and whatever, and has to have this exact map, has the exact same super jumps, and it's like, I mean, I don't even really care much for Halo 2 remake. I'd rather them keep making Halo, new versions, because I loved Halo 2 when it came out. I played a crap ton of it. I think that was my first Xbox Live game, and that's actually where my gamer tag Chain Sniper started. And
Yeah.
and so like I've never been one that gets affected by nostalgia. I feel like old games are generally pretty bad. It's like,
Yeah.
I remember a lot of PS1 games I played with my cousin. A lot of platformers like Crash and Spyro and Twisted Metal was another one we played a lot of. That I had a lot of fun then, but I have no misconceptions of, oh, if I came back and play these, I'd have a lot of fun playing them again. I mean, I'm sure I might, but I'm not gonna go like, oh, if I, this is just as good as current games. I'm having as much fun as I would have if I was playing Mass Effect or Halo or whatever. But
Yeah, but I would say like from that era, like I agree. Like, but I didn't like uh Crash and Spyro games even at the time. Like I liked the Banjo Tooie games, and like they came out with those for they did like an upscale or up-resed one for 360, and I played it for like 6 hours again. Like I still had fun playing it. So I think again like some of those they weren't even that good at the time. We were just so young that we just didn't know better
yeah,
almost.
I mean, I'm not saying that they can't be good. Like old games can be good,
Yeah.
but I feel like they're rarely gonna match up to your expectations of, because you change so much from it. Like
Yeah.
your game taste will change. I don't have my 6-year-old cousin playing with me anymore. Right by my side. Hell, he doesn't even have the same, like his family doesn't even have the same house. It's like there's so much things that change. It's just like I don't really have any misconceptions of old games. I like new games basically. I mean, I don't discount old games, but I like the new game. I look forward to new games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I hate new games. I'm just kidding.
A lot of people do. A lot of people that go like, "Oh, games now are so terrible. They need to make them better if they want to get rid of
Well,
used games." It's just like,
yeah. Well, it's the same people that are like they were like poo-pooing the PS4 announcement. Like they just want to complain about stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
It's like
Oh yeah.
especially when it's speculative. When it's like we haven't even seen the PS4 box yet. Come on. Like we don't they just gave us like here's kind of our vision. Here's some cool stuff. Check us out in December or whenever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So to get all like snotty and grumpy about it, it's just weird to me.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, it's fun to get excited about new hardware.
I just gotta ask them and go, maybe you guys aren't, don't want to, like, I've always said that once you're a gamer, you're always a gamer, but, sometimes there are people that will, maybe you just don't like video games anymore. Maybe that's just a thought.
No, there's a lot of people like that. I know
Yeah.
plenty of people that once they go through college, they get married, then they stop playing video games. They don't necessarily hate them anymore. They just don't have the time or the
Yeah,
inclination
I
to
mean,
play them
but
anymore.
I think there's a difference between not having the time and not playing it. Like people
Yeah,
that have the time to
There's people
complain
who have
about it,
plenty of time and they just complain and just hate on it. And I
yeah,
mean, you have that with certain games or consoles. Just they put so much effort into just hating on something. I don't know, it's really foreign to me. It's weird.
yeah. Anyways, uh, I mean, I guess I kind of want to continue off making like games like. What do you guys think is the important part to that? Because like, nowadays like there aren't as many stylistic games. Like, if they're stylistic, they're completely stylistic. Like even, like Borderlands is probably one of the more
Hmm.
stylistic games recently, and that's just because it's cell shaded, right? Like they're still human
Yeah.
beings. They're maybe a little bulkier, like, but in the end they're still kind of just people. Like there's not many things where you play as a dragon, play as a, I don't know, whatever the hell Crash was. I mean, I guess Mario still I guess has that, but, or I mean Nintendo. But what do you guys think?
You can be a you can be a dragonborn, I guess, if you want.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is kind of like? What do you think is required? Why do some of these games still last? And what do you think companies want that? Do they want to keep going, etc., etc.? Anyone, feel free to jump in.
Uh, repeat the question. I'm a little confused as to what you're
Why do
asking.
games? Why do some games age and some don't? I guess is basically what I was trying to say.
Oh, I see. I think
Well,
kind of like I was
Corey
saying.
kind of touched
Oh,
on it
you
earlier.
go first.
Yeah, it's. Go ahead, Corey. Go ahead, Corey.
All right.
You guys are
Yeah,
so
if
lost
they
without me.
focus on the art and the story, then that stuff will last. Because people always like a good story, they like good characters, they like a good art style. The graphics cannot be good, but as long as like the art is intact, if they can draw a good character with a good look to it, it sure won't look as good as a new game, but there's plenty of just
Well,
like if you take PS1 games, there's plenty of games where it's like it was just as competent graphically as all the other games, but the art wasn't there and the vision wasn't there, so it just kind of like it just looks generic now.
do you not feel that like, but more games that don't have that though? Like, look at like the Uncharted series, or even like compare like maybe even Uncharted to like a Halo. I guess Halo is kind of one of the more different stylistic because like it's not just humans, right? Like I don't. Maybe I have a different definition of art style. I guess
Yeah, no,
like
I think Halo definitely has a very striking visual style, but I don't think it has to be sci-fi. It can
no,
be
I
anything.
know.
I personally think Uncharted has a very distinct, especially in Uncharted 2, it has a very distinct art style to it. I think you can have a distinct art style even when you're just dealing with humans. But I agree that Halo is definitely one of the more visually unique games. I mean, you can see its influence in science fiction games everywhere, every day. Like, oh, that looks just like Halo. You know what I mean? Even like Crisis, I feel like in some ways borrows from Halo.
Yeah. Doug, got anything to say?
Yeah, I feel like you have to have like a unique. Yeah, you have to have like a unique. You have to have something that sort of sets you apart from the rest, and you have to have intuitive controls, something that you aren't going to pick up. If you sit down at your N64, you want to have something that it doesn't feel frustrating to learn how to jump, learn how to do basic functions. I think really the pillars you want to shoot for, and really any good game, but in a game that's gonna stand the test of time is story, uh, and well, story and controls. It's that's basically what you need to focus on. And
Yeah, I, I,
I guess it would be too difficult to I'm not saying anything earth shattering here, but that's what I would focus on.
yeah, I actually think controls is probably the most important thing in terms of games lasting because a
Yeah,
story like you don't necessarily have to go back. Like when I go back and play Crash or Spyro or Twisted Metal, I'm not playing for the story. I'm definitely not playing for the graphics. But if the controls are good enough, it's a game I can continue to play. I mean, there's many
yeah,
different reasons to go back and play a game. Like if I go back and play Mass Effect 1, the controls are pretty bad there, but I'm playing that for the story. But I feel like controls are because like even if it's a story I want to get through, like Dreamfall, like right, Corey, like graphics is not the greatest there. It's decent, but
Excuse me. Just kidding.
but the controls are so bad,
They
and it's
are.
just like I'm semi interested in the story. The graphics are fine enough for me to continue through it, but I can't I can't kick a
How dare
person that
you?
I normally can kick.
How
I'm
dare
not a
you?
bad control like I'm not bad at video
But
games.
see, so that game, that one, when it came out, that was the number one complaint. You know what I
Well,
mean? So
yeah.
that one's not even like an aging issue. That's when that came out, everyone knocked it down a couple pegs for its combat and for its controls. You know what I mean? So I mean that one, it's not even just age. It's just
I
those
know, but
aspects of the game was just very poorly designed.
yeah,
People gave it very high scores for its graphics and art style and its story at the time, but not for the gameplay at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, I look at like Doug's example of Brotherhood to Assassin's Creed 3. Like when I played Brotherhood, it was pretty crisp controls, but it's almost more consistency more than anything. Like, if you go back to Halo 1, you know, that's 2001, and that game is still probably very playable in comparison to other shooters back in the time. Like, we played Time Splitters, and that was really bad to play, but you know, a lot of people still play Halo 1 because it's still basically Halo 4. The controls, it's the same controls, basically. I mean, there, you know,
Yeah.
there's gonna be different things here and there, but you know, it's. I feel like controls, at least consistency. Like, you know, maybe you know, a couple years from now, Call of Duty or some other random shooter is gonna make you kind of go, oh, this shooter makes more sense than even the Halo style or Call of Duty style. And you know, I actually the thing is
The
if
Wii
you're
already did that.
with like with Call of Duty, the aim with the left trigger, you know, that's not something that was in
Yeah.
Halo because Halo you don't aim down sights that much, or you don't have to at least. And that you know that's one thing that when I transferred my brother from Call of Duty to Halo, that was one of the things. There's a choice for that, but I told him just get you something else. But it was something that he was adamant about. It's like I I can't aim because it's on the left trigger. And so, you know, right there is already showing how, you know, even though Halo 4 recently came out and how good the controls are, it's just what you're used to and what's kind of good at the time. I mean, like, Jade Empire is getting pretty close to it. The style I play on it, it's still playable, but if I wanted to do a different style, it probably would be a terrible game. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I got. I couldn't remember exactly what we wanted to talk about in this. Do you guys, Doug, you have any other ideas? That's why I didn't want to intro this. No, Doug? Nothing?
Nope.
Corey?
Okay.
Anything else?
I think that's it. I think just on the when we were talking about how games. Wait, we started with how games age, then we moved on. But what was this?
Well, we
Sorry,
we talked
my
about
brain
how.
just died. What'd you say?
Go ahead. Never mind.
Sorry. What I was going to talk about is when Doug was bringing up like the Brotherhood versus Assassin's Creed. I was going to say I think that's mostly a problem of when you come out of the game every year, you don't spend your time on it as much as a developer. Focus wise, sure you have two separate groups within your company, but I think developers that spend 3 to 5 years on their game ends up being something that stands the test of time better. And I know you didn't like BioShock, Ryan, but like I still really like that game. And again, they're just now coming out with a sequel to that. BioShock 2 doesn't really count because that's
It
completely
counts.
no. It's not even part
It
of the
counts.
story. No,
It's a different game, but it's still the same. It's a different story, but it's still the same game.
Yeah.
It's like saying it's like saying Modern Warfare and Black Ops are completely different. They're not. They're still the same game.
But
Different
I mean,
story.
there's even less similarity between BioShock 2 and Infinite. It's like the main developer, the publisher wanted them to make another BioShock game quickly, and they said they won't, so they had another developer make a BioShock 2. But anyway, either way, the if they'd come out with, instead of doing BioShock Infinite, if they just come out with BioShock 2 from that developer, it wouldn't be the same game because they wouldn't have taken their time with it. Same with Valve games. Like I like developers that tend to take their time with the game instead of just doing a yearly game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're definitely taking their time with Half-Life 3.
Well, yeah. That's yeah. That's
also,
a totally.
I waited 12 years for StarCraft 2, and I don't like StarCraft 2. What?
Oh my
I know.
god.
Oh.
I mean, I
And
don't
that's
hate
like
it, but
buying the expansion pack or whatever it is.
I mean, I don't hate it, but it's like
It's
I
a
like
good game.
of course
You
it's
just
a good
have
game.
unrealistic expectations because you love Brood War so much, I think.
I do. I love Brood
Yeah.
War. Well, I mean,
Exactly.
actually, the ironic thing is it's just the changes. Like, you know, I don't get me wrong. I feel like and I completely admit that it's probably a lot of I just wanted Brood War, but I do feel I don't think I cut off like, oh, there's a lot of things in StarCraft 2 I do like one of my favorite units in StarCraft was the Ghost, and in StarCraft 2 I like them a lot better in there because they're cooler and more useful. But there's a lot there's a lot of things where it's just kind of they added things that did definitely change the game. I don't want to get into it, but anyways, whatever. Taking time, something. Talking about time, last topic, just real quick. I want to talk about future releases because it's beginning of March. March seems to have quite a few games coming out, and I just wanted to go through them quickly. Thank you to Frack Daddy 14 on Football's Future. He made a nice comprehensive list of it. I'll just go through them. You guys can't see this. I guess hang on, I can link it to Corey. Doug, it's on the top of the video games section. I don't know if you can even search it. Yeah, I was about to say. I don't think anyways, March 5th. I don't know if this is true though. So first games coming out. There's a couple of baseball games. I don't think we care about that. SimCity. Corey, I know you want to play SimCity.
I have it pre-ordered.
Tell me about it, or just tell me. I don't know. Just tell me something. I
played the beta, so I played a good probably 2 hours of it.
Okay.
I mean, they would only let you do an hour at a time on the city.
Oh, really?
So yeah, just for the beta, they were like you can only play. I don't know why exactly, but yeah, if you like that type of game, you have to be a very specific type of person to be interested in a city simulation game. You know what I mean? But if you like that, it's everything you like about a management game, but streamlined to make it more modern and playable today. Like a lot of things that frustrated me with older SimCity games was the water systems and the power line systems were a nightmare. To get that stuff working correctly. You spend half your time just messing with those, whereas now you lay down a road and the road carries the waste, the water, and the power. So it takes the annoying stuff out, where it's like there's still plenty of stuff to manage. It just takes out the annoying things to manage. So I think it's really smart design-wise. There's some new multiplayer. I guess not multiplayer. It's like your friends are in neighboring cities, and their environmental impact has an impact on your city. If you're next to them, you can sell power to each other and things like that.
It's like a social aspect.
Social. Yes, social. There we go. So that's kind of what I missed in The Sims 3. I kind of when I saw that stuff being in SimCity, like, ooh, that would be awesome in this game. So I'm hoping The Sims 4 is that same kind of thing where it's like you can kind of you're not playing at the same time, but your worlds impact each other. Like
Screw
that's cool.
that. I want to be playing at the same time. Why can't we be freaking neighbors?
Oh my gosh.
We could do that in Minecraft.
In Sims 3, I guess that could. I mean, in a Sims game, that could probably work. In SimCity, it's a little different. I think the way they're doing it is smart. So it adds a social element, with smart impacts on each other. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it's out on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, they said March 5th, but I think it's March 6th, or maybe I'm wrong.
Well, games usually come out on Tuesdays, don't they?
Oh yeah, it is 5th.
Yeah,
So why did I hear Tomb Raider is coming out the 6th? Whatever.
I don't know.
Doug, are you a management type guy? Doug?
A what?
Management type gamer?
Am I?
Yeah.
You mean like for like SimCity and all that?
Yeah, do you like managing like RTSs and simulation and stuff like that?
I mean, not really. I used to play some of the Civilization games, and I have played SimCity before. The older ones, but I mean I'm not looking forward to SimCity 4. That's something I'm into, I guess.
SimCity 4 already came out. Saying.
Or
everything is 4.
See, that's how little I'm interested in it.
Yeah, they're just calling it SimCity. Whatever.
It's SimCity, whatever.
Well, yeah. The new Devil May Cry is technically DMC. It's just like Just
So
put a
dumb.
freaking number 5 on it. I know it sounds bad, but it gets confusing. I've always said that I'm a management type gamer, and I mean, maybe I'll like this one because I got SimCity 4 or 2000 or one of the old ones, and I was just like, oh, this is my type of game. I love Sims. I love RTSs. Even when we're playing, there's a chance to be like a hero. I prefer to be the terrible town that's just destined to lose anyways. and but I don't know. It might be one of those games where it's like, oh, it's on sale on Steam or Origin. I guess only on Origin, right? And I'll pick it up. Otherwise, I don't think it's something I'll be picking up, at least soon. Next, another big game is Tomb Raider. For me personally, I already pre-ordered it. I don't know if you guys are ever excited for this, but I'm not too excited for it. It's just kind of a game I look like I would want, and the reviews of it have been like weird. It's one of those games that have the reviews have been like, it's good but not great. I guess it's
Yeah.
fun but
Really?
not great. That's what I've been reading.
I've been reading like it's really
If the
good.
review-
Well, yeah, I mean like it's really good, but like how many like it's not like a Skyrim where like there's no flaws to this game, or
Well,
you know.
I think
Yeah.
just the main flaw that people, the main complaint people have is that the all the marketing has been trumping up the fact that, oh, you're gonna see her
Yeah,
go
I'm
from the
disappointed in that.
the very fragile girl to like the Slayer. But they say the transition from the
Very
fragile
quick.
person to the Slayer is like so fast
Yeah.
that it's just sort of unbelievable. That's like the number one complaint I've heard about this game, like across the board. That's always
I-
their complaint.
That and
But
it doesn't seem like there's many tombs to raid.
yeah, but I think it's because it's a reboot in a way. So I mean, I would think it's sort of setting that stuff up for the sequel
Yeah,
to be
I
more
mean,
of a Tomb Raider.
like,
So-
it sounds like I've everything I've read. Like I said, they're saying it's good, but like it's not the top. I wouldn't say it's maybe a game of the year, like a bottom 5 kind of thing, out of a top 10, bottom
I
5
don't
out of
know.
top 10.
Well, I mean, depends on how the year goes, but
Well, with
I
like
mean, I've been
Bioshock
seeing like
Infinite,
9 out of 10, 3 out of 4 stars. I mean, 4 out of 5 stars. Like, I don't know, good reviews.
I saw 3 out of 5. So, my throat.
Where?
if the-
Shack
this
News.
was a game
Or
that
no,
I
revision.
was like,
Sorry, go ahead, Doug.
this is a game that I was sort of kept an eye on, that I thought if the reviews were very good I would get it, but I've been underwhelmed of what I've seen so far. I also saw the review. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the Conan O'Brien. He reviews games sometimes, but they're just meant to be funny. But I saw him
in
review
quotes.
this game. It was pretty funny, but yeah, and I don't know. It looks okay. I won't be getting it when it first comes out. If kind of I hear from you, probably if you like really like it, Ryan, I might get it. But I don't know. If there was a chance for me to get it, but I won't be getting it. I don't think.
I was
At
gonna
least to
say
begin with.
it's coming out for the 360, and I could give it to you, like mail it to you, I guess. But I got it for the PC.
I was going to say, I thought you pre-ordered it on PC.
Oh,
Just so you can say it's on the PC. Maybe PC. I don't know. Whatever. It is on the PC.
Sometimes the PC games are a little bit later.
Well, no, I mean the guy who put this up didn't put it for PC too.
Yeah.
But I know it is because I have it pre-ordered. At least I
Maybe
hope it
surprise-
is.
The surprise is, oh, the PC port was canceled. Sorry.
No, they like
Oops.
randomly mail like a PS3 or 360 version. It's like, huh? What the? Anyways, what? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I'm actually excited when I heard the Giant Bomb guys describing the game. I actually got really excited about it. I'm not gonna pre-order it. I'm probably just gonna wait till sales still, but I'm actually pretty excited to play it. I'm just trying to
Waiting.
save money
Yeah,
right now.
makes
Not.
sense.
I mean, it's like I can get the game on sale like this summer. It's not that long to wait,
Yeah.
you know. And and you can usually save a lot of money, especially over, if I buy every game at $60, that's a lot of money.
That's why you
You
buy
know?
used.
Yeah. Well, I can't buy used PC games. I mean, unless it's like
can
a
let you borrow it.
console exclusive, I usually buy it on PC if I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously, I'm not going to get Uncharted or Kuni on PC, but if it's also on PC, I'm typically going to get there because it's going to run better and it's going to be a little bit cheaper.
The biggest thing is with PC is that even if you want a controller, you can't have a controller. What do you know?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That is a like the past couple of years
yeah,
development. Before that, it was always like you could technically, if you use like a joystick to keyboard like mapping program, but that is like no, thank you. But when they actually started adding native support, it was like okay,
yeah,
this is kind of cool.
yeah. So I think we're kind of like opposite of each other. It's like when there's a sale, we'll buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, I don't know what that is. Caploosh, Darkstalkers. I know you guys are both big
Oh yeah,
fighting
big
games
into
fans.
fighting games, especially obscure, really old Capcom ones.
God of War Ascension is coming out. I know
Yeah.
Doug doesn't have PS3, but
I do, and I'm not interested in it.
there's 2 GOW random games that shouldn't be coming out this month. Next up is
Oh,
Heart of the
no.
Swarm.
I'm a huge Gears of War fan, but I'm not getting the Gears of War games. So
Yeah. Heart of the Swarm's coming out. I'm excited to play the single player. I think we kind of talked about it already. I guess. Well, Corey, do you know if because we still want to play arcade games, right?
On StarCraft
On
2?
StarCraft 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we? You can go back and probably. Never mind.
Yeah, they're not going to disable my game because a new one came out.
No, not disable, but like, can we play together?
I would.
But
I
I
would
think
be pretty pissed if they.
I already
if they-
know. I know the
yeah.
original and Brood War. You pick which one you want, and it depends
Yeah,
on which
that
one.
would be pretty messed up if they did that.
It's more like one of those oversights. I feel like more than like them doing it on purpose. Like, oh wait, if it replaces your old game, they can't play it.
I don't see Blizzard doing that though.
Yeah, I guess you also you'll want to play single. You might want to play the old single player again.
I mean, Blizzard's pretty good about it. They even have it where there's like cross PC and Mac play. You know what I mean?
Wait, is that not common?
No, you kidding?
Really?
Like
I didn't know that.
multiplayer games from Mac to PC. Like now that Steam is adding that stuff, more games are doing that. But before that, it's pretty uncommon
Oh.
to have multiplayer games from Mac to PC.
God, why would you ever get a Mac then? I'm just kidding.
Not for games, basically.
Yeah. Dead or Alive,
For work.
Dead or Alive 5 Plus for the Vita.
Yay.
Then Gears of War Judgment coming out the 19th.
Boo.
What?
I don't know why I'm saying yay for Dead or Alive on the Vita and boo for that, but whatever.
Lego City Undercover.
See, I actually really want to play that game, but there's no way I'm buying a Wii U to play it.
There's Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
No,
No?
I might buy Wii for that game. I'm just kidding.
It's for some odd reason its prices range from $40 to $60.
Well, the Wii U versus the 3DS version.
Oh yeah, okay, right. Yeah, it's sold the 19th. Need for Speed Most Wanted for the Wii U. Bunch of Wii U stuff. Walking Dead, Survival Instinct. I know
Ugh.
everyone wants to play that.
Yeah, that game looks awful. Sorry.
Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel for 26. Then I think the last biggest one here, yeah, it's Bioshock Infinite,
What's
On
that game?
26. I mean, I guess we kind of talked about it. Like, I Doug, do you have any history with Bioshock, or did you just skip the franchise?
oh yeah, I've played both games. No,
Yeah.
I've played both games. I really really like the first one, kind of like the second one, and if the reviews are good for Infinite, which they I think they
They're
will
going
be,
to
right?
be.
I mean,
I
I haven't
mean-
heard anything bad about it. Yeah, I'll probably pick up Infinite. Yeah. I'm not super excited. You know, it's not one of my favorite franchises, but I feel like I'll probably enjoy it. So yeah, I'll pick it up.
For me,
I'll probably enjoy it. I'm gonna buy that.
oh, that's a pretty good reason to buy something.
Yeah, I'm
It was just
Obviously,
you're like,
yeah. There's kind of a difference between. Yeah, I'm not like super excited as I am for Assassin. It's not like Assassin. The whole franchise of BioShock isn't on the same level at all. So, I mean, when I first played BioShock 1, I really really loved it. BioShock 2 was just okay. So
Yeah. Like
Infinite,
I said,
maybe I'll love the franchise again. So
I don't consider Bioshock as and the Bioshock Infinite people don't consider Bioshock 2 to be part of the franchise
Yeah.
either.
Well, it has the name, so
It's just the publisher.
I don't care. Hey,
I-
guess without the publisher, Bioshock's not even coming out in general. So
No,
Uh,
they just put
Yeah.
themselves.
for me, I don't know. I probably told the story, but I will watch the Bioshock Infinite on on a stream or on a Let's Play. What up?
We're so funny with that.
Well, it's like I watched the first one. I think I even watched the second one, and it's just like I don't like. I sold it for $5 to put that towards Mass Effect or not Mass Effect 2, Modern Warfare 2,
Ugh.
and
Wow.
hey,
Ew.
I personally got the best of both worlds in my opinion. I spent hours on Modern Warfare 2.
Ugh.
It's a
I
popular
spent plenty of
game.
time with that game, too.
Yeah, I guess that's it. No, unless you want to play Pandora's Tower that only comes out on the Wii, apparently. What?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, and Slender, The Arrival on PC. Any of you guys play Slender?
I played it, not this one, like the original. If it's the same one, like the same
I think it's a
PC
new
Slender
one.
game I'm thinking of, I played it and I've watched plenty of videos, people playing it. I don't get it. I like scary games. I like, thriller and all that kind of stuff, but it's just gameplay wise and just I don't get it at all.
It's because it's supposed to be scary.
No,
That's it. Like
I
that's
don't
literally
think
it. It's a jump
if I
scare.
want something that's scary, like Amnesia, The Dark Descent, that's actually a scary game.
Well, the point is though is to get your friends to play. Like it's like that stupid maze one where he's like, oh, just use your mouse and you go through the maze, and when you go out of it, it scares living daylights out of you.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play that? The maze, it's like a blue maze that goes zigzag, and you use your mouse, and if it touches the black part of the screen, well, so you have to pass a few easy levels first, and then it gets into this hard one where most people will fail, and then it just does a stupid pop-up internet 1996 or whatever 2006.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyways, I think that's it. You guys have anything else?
What about Terraria?
Oh, I skipped that.
I know.
It's due to be determined. It might not even come out in March.
Oh my gosh.
504.
It's Terraria, except now it's on consoles.
Yeah. Anyways, do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
No.
I think that's it. Are we gonna do a
Okay.
co-op playthrough of Dead Island Riptide? I think that's a real question.
No.
I know. I knew that was the answer.
I
was
mean,
hoping
get it
you'd
from
know.
me for free. Sure, I'll play the hell out of it, but I'm not gonna buy it.
Well, we'll wait till the summer Steam sale and get it for $5.
Sure. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the Game of the Swarm podcast because I like changing the name midway through. uh, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed and say goodbye, you guys.
Bye.
Fine, don't
Bye,
say bye,
guys.
Doug.
See ya.
Jeez.